Hey, it's Friday. It's Friday, I'm EnviroBoy, and this is my channel. There. Intro done. And now the stream can really begin. Except that I'm still gonna practice the whole, like, waiting for people to trickle in, if that's what's gonna happen. So, I was just gonna, like, sit here awkwardly for 5 minutes or so. I don't know. Maybe that'll be damaging, because if anyone does come in, they're gonna be like, wow, this guy's a real idiot. I wanna be around him. Nah, it's good. It's good. It actually was beneficial yesterday. I had some people coming in, and how about that? Everything was, it was nice being able to give people the chance to come on in, and I can just sit here and ramble about random things. I don't know how focused I'm going to be today, though, to be perfectly honest, because I'm sitting here, and today I'm making some homemade slow-cooked shredded chicken, and so it's in the slow cooker right now, and the entire apartment smells amazing, and it's awesome, but it's also just the worst, sitting here trying to go about my day knowing that that meal is hours away and that there's nothing I can do about it. I just have to sit here and wait. I just have to wait. I have to smell this amazing chicken and just sit here and deal with it. And, you know, when you only eat one meal a day, that type of stuff, like, once your appetite kind of gets triggered, it's rough. It's rough, because then your body remembers, like, oh, we haven't eaten anything yet today, so maybe we should just go ahead and do that now, huh? And then you just kind of have to sit there. Like I say, you just kind of have to sit there and wallow in your own misery. And it's, you know, it's a choice I make. And I'm not going to say I regret it, but there are days when I'm tempted to make a different choice. That's for doggone sure. That's for doggone sure. But it's a gorgeous day. It's a gorgeous day. Yesterday was one of them really cold, nice, rainy days. I was talking about I love that, and I do love that. But half the reason that I love it is I love it when it gets balanced out with nice weather, right? Like, it's nice. Clouds are nice when you also have sunshine to balance it out. And so, as if I ordered it, the sun has come out. It is still cool. We got the cool air from the rain still hanging around, right? And but it's sunny and pretty out, and I don't know. It's hard to feel down and out today. It's one of those days. One of those days where it's hard to feel down and out, and I'm pretty okay with it. I'm pretty okay with things today. You can tell it's still cold because Kitty is curled up in her bed right now, being super adorable. She started off the morning doing a lot of sprints, to the point that I'm worried my downstairs neighbors might have heard her, even though she's just a cat. But, you know, there's nothing I can do about it. But she wore herself out, and so now she's just laying there. Super adorably. Super adorably. She's a good kitty. She's a real good kitty. Things here, since I'm trying to give it a few more seconds anyway. But we're getting to our 5-minute mark, so we can go ahead and probably dive in any time now here. Oh my goodness gracious. Excuse me. Ah, boy. Boy, oh boy. Alright. We're close enough. We're close enough. I think we're going to go ahead and dive in. Let's dive in for the day. Let's get some stuff done today. Here we are. Okay, I need to pull up actually what we're working on today. Because like last time, I was previously, earlier today, working on working on some stuff for the campaign that I'm currently running for my friends. And as always, we are not going to have that. Hey, Wicked Smart Dragon, how's it going? Yeah, as always, we are not going to stream that in case any of my players decide that they want to get cheeky about it and try and come in and find some secrets from the DM by watching my stream. It won't work. It won't work. Shutting that down. But last time we had started. Let me pull up our map here. We need this one. Boom, boom. Drawing some chibi. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I've never been good at drawing. I have tried on plenty of occasions, but my hands just they don't obey when I try to get them to draw things. They just kind of are like, yeah, no, we're not gonna draw that. You've got this beautiful image in your mind, but we're just not gonna make it a reality. So I've just never been all that great at it. Hey, Danny, how's it going? Yeah, no, I've always been a little envious of people who could draw. I've tried, and I recognize that, like, if I actually seriously, yeah, I was gonna say, if I actually sat down and like actually tried to learn to draw, then I could certainly learn to draw pretty well. But it just, I don't know, it's never been something that I've taken the time to do. I've taken the time to learn many things, but drawing is not one of them. So I always think it's fantastic when people are creative in that way and can, like I say, make your imaginations become like real life images. I always think that's really cool. I use computers to help me. Here we are. Here we are making my imagination real with the help of a robot. So, close enough, right? Not really. Equally creative, just in a different way. Boom. There we go. And I feel good about myself again. But yeah, so we started on we have finished our first level of this dungeon. Looks quite lovely indeed. And then we started our second layer here. And there's nothing to do but keep working on it, right? That's what we're here for. So let's see here. So we've got, yes, we already predetermined what is in which room and everything. And I'm pretty sure I already went through and kind of made sure that it all makes sense in terms of the rooms, making sure like the rooms are accessible in an appropriate order, which is to say that the rooms containing the keys are not hidden behind locked doors, because that kind of defeats the purpose of the keys, so to speak. But thanks, Danny. I appreciate that. I think it looks pretty good. I think it's coming out pretty good so far anyway. Let's see. There's still plenty of time for me to break it and ruin it. But hopefully it won't come to that. Alright, so we're on to room number 3 here. And we need to... So this room is going to have a trap in it. And so we need to figure out what the hell kind of trap I want to put in this thing. Alright, honestly, I feel like the best trap would be if we put some sort of rock slide or something in here. Because at this point in time, they're kind of getting pretty... They're starting to gain some elevation. Like, they're not flat out climbing a mountain at, at this stage in the adventure. They're not actually like climbing the mountain at this stage, but they're gaining enough altitude that they could certainly fall down a cliff or something like that and get injured. So naturally, we need to present that opportunity for them, because as most people have probably gathered in watching my streams, I never miss an opportunity to screw with my players and give them headaches. That's how I roll. That's my jam. So I'm gonna set that up, and I think all we're gonna do. They're getting too confident. I mean, that tends to happen. That's half the reason why I always bring my players down a notch. I don't want them to think that they're too confident, especially because in the scope of this dungeon, right, in this first floor, this is the easy half, right? This is the half that's designed, like I intentionally designed it to be easy, so that way they can have all kinds of fun with their new level, right? Because they'll have recently, just the scope of how the campaign's going, they'll have leveled up. So they're going to have all these new powers, and they're going through this and feeling like they're all confident and crap. And so now this next level, this next stage in the dungeon is for them to be brought back down, just like take them out at the knees. Bada bing, bada boom. So I have conflicting emotions about my players. Hey, Chaos Stars, how's it going? Good to see you here. Yeah, no, I have conflicting feelings about my players. In many ways, I love them and I want them to have an amazing time. But in other ways, I want to screw with them in every way possible. I'm doing well. I'm doing well, Chaos. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. It's a nice sunny day, and it's hard to be too down and out. Bit stuck on something. Uh-oh. Hopefully it's not anything too crucial or upsetting. Let's see here. Okay, we need to. So if we're gonna design a trap, let's see here. We're just gonna describe. Let's see here. This plateau looks out over the valley to the north. Say it gives way to a steep slope. It gives way to a steep slope to the north. How do I want to describe this? Steep slope to the north. That has nothing but a roughly, we'll say, 100-foot drop to rocky crags below. The ground is somewhat infirm in places, suggesting this may not be the most stable portion of the pathway. Pathway, and then we're gonna put a few mechanics in here. We're just gonna say if players aren't careful, ground gives way. We'll say check, and in that situation we'll say difficult. Difficult checks. Check difficult to grab onto something and not fall with it. If players are careful, checks, and we'll give them the reward of having it be easy checks, easy to carefully navigate across safely. As simple as that. As simple as that. All right, what do you got? Your first ever homebrew thing. Make a new monk subclass called the Way of the Fae. The magical stuff, but try to think of some solid physical features for it. These two Fae monk examples don't have much of physical features. Oh, so you're just trying to come up with sort of an aesthetic for them. For character using, so you want to get it done. Yeah, so like you're trying to think about a monk subclass in your physical features for a Fae creature. So like you're saying like physical features that like the monk sort of takes on upon themselves by becoming more Fae-like. Is that kind of what you're getting at? Caveat too, I'm more than happy to offer suggestions, but just disclaimer, I am not always excellent at I don't specialize in like development of custom characters and races. I'm much better at the world building itself, but if you're going for Fae, I always think about Fae as being sort of like naturalistic and whimsical, right? So it's like you can almost, depending on what kind of aesthetic you're going for, the two thoughts that I always kind of have are like fairy pixie type of appearance, some sort of like pixie fairy thing. So if you want to have them like be almost like glittery in a way with like maybe like some sort of like translucent just like magical fairy wings or something like that, you can always do that as sort of an aesthetic. Or the other option is to go with something that's very naturalistic, and I always think about like things that are like sort of tree-like in nature. So you can always have them sort of take on the appearance of having like bark-like skin or something like that. Those are the two aesthetics I always think of when I think of Fae. It's not the end-all be-all, but that's kind of where my mind goes. I don't know if that's at all what you're looking for, but that's what my mind first comes to. Enchantment. token. Oh my goodness, we are gonna just screw with my players so hard with this. So there's a nice little prize here on this platform that's gonna give away. Near the edge of the infirm plateau that you stand upon. Again, I always like this. These descriptions are meant to be things that I can like read off directly at the players, or at least portions of them that I can read directly to players to make it a bit easier for them to, or to make it a bit easier for the DM in case I'm ever in a situation where my brain isn't firing on all cylinders because I'm tired or something like that, and I'm having a hard time thinking about descriptions. I'll just have something there that I can just like read off of. It's not what you're looking for. I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess it's hard for me to know exactly what it is you're looking for. So you know, it's you know, like I say, I don't know necessarily exactly what your thoughts of with Fae are, but and the nature of what kind of appearances you're wanting. I mean, physical features like the stuff you can do, like Way of the Open Hand. So you're talking more like what sort of like attacks and powers they have then? Is that more what you're talking about? Let's see, near the edge of the infirm plateau. Okay. So, I mean, you can just like the physical attacks. I mean, you could just like you could just kind of give them specialties. Like you could just kind of scour some different Fae creatures, see what types of attacks they tend to have, and just have their attacks sort of fit that mold. I mean, the hard part is when we're thinking about, you know, just a standard player character, physical attacks tend to be hit with weapon or hit with fist, right? And so with Way of the Open Hand, it's like, you know, adds a lot of like martial arts types of fighting and stuff like that. So just sort of like, you know, you can talk about, you know, try and find ways to have a Fae-like weapon or something like that. Maybe you could do. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard because I'm not perfectly sure. Like, I'm not in your head, so I can't necessarily I can't like visualize what you're trying to visualize and stuff. So it's difficult when you're kind of coming up with aesthetic stuff like that. But Diff gives monk stuff. Yeah, oh yeah, it definitely. I mean, monks definitely have their own flavor. There's no doubt about that. But like, trying to figure out how to differentiate just an attack to make it appear Fae-like is, I mean, it's kind of challenging. It's kind of challenging to come up with things beyond just like flavor text. You know what I mean? So that's why I say, you know, like I can think to myself sort of what a Fae-like aesthetic is, but that doesn't do a whole lot because I don't know, you know, I'm not in your head. I don't know what you're looking for. So unfortunately, I wish I were more helpful for you. My brain is limited. My brain is limited. There are only so many things that I'm capable of thinking of, and sometimes we find our limits, and that's all we can do. Character's a folk hero. Alfei was impressed. So hey, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. Just got given the stuff instead of just getting taught it. So like a Fae folk hero. And more into the story. Yeah, I mean, I guess the thing for me is it sounds like you've got a pretty strong idea of what the character is. So what I would just think about is what the history is and what that training would have looked like, and then just bring some elements of that into the campaign is what I guess I would say, because it sounds like you've got a pretty clear idea of what the life of this monk was prior to the adventure you're starting, right? And so if you just kind of think about that history and that storyline, and just think about what sort of artifacts would naturally come from that type of story that you're telling as far as the history of the player goes, I think that would probably give it to you right there. So I guess that's what my suggestion would be. Go for that. Let's see here. So near the edge of the infirm plateau that you stand upon, you see a small glint, we'll say a small metallic glint on the ground among a pile of loose stones. You suspect you could grab it so long as you navigate carefully. Let's see here. Yeah, no, I feel you. I feel you. It's hard to necessarily come up with exactly like what you're thinking of without it being something that conflicts with the rules and all that kind of stuff, especially if it's something you bring into a, like another game and stuff like that. So I get that. I get that. Cast a spell to cover the hand in fairy dust. Okay, yeah, there you go. Alright, then. There you go. Yeah, that kind of combines both of those aesthetics. There you go. I like that. I like that, Danny. I like that. That's that right there is like the ultimate the ultimate combination of where my brain space goes for it. Let's see here. You suspect you could grab it so long as you navigate carefully. And then we're going to put some stuff here. If players try for it, medium, for it, have to make some sort of check to not collapse the ground. And we'll set that to medium. Boom, we'll do that. So it's like they got to earn it. They got to earn it, of course. Can't just give it to them for free. Then we also got to decide exactly what the enchantment token is. Now, I've explained it before, but just in case there's anyone watching who's unfamiliar, I have, within my group, I have a homebrew system for modifying weapons and armor that I use with my players and my players enjoy using, which is a way for them to improve their weapons and armor and gain better items throughout a campaign without always having to just like buy new things and abandon whatever aesthetic stuff they have going for their character, right? Because like it can be kind of disappointing if you're like a dwarf who's known for his warhammer and then suddenly you find a +1 mace and you're like, well, undeniably that would be a better attack, right? But my guy's thing is his warhammer. So instead of making players just kind of willy-nilly get rid of stuff like that, I like to do this system where I present them with what I call enchantment tokens. And they're tokens that are imbued with some form of magic, oftentimes a spell of some sort, that they can then use to enchant their existing weapons and armor. So that way they can add effects and powers and stuff as the campaign goes on without having to get rid of the stuff that they have, that they like specifically chose because they had a character in mind. So that's what these enchantment tokens are. So we got to find exactly what that would be. Let's see here. And the way I like to do that is we go in here. I always just like to pull up our spells here. I like to try and keep them thematic for the environment. So for this one, we already did. Let's see. First off, because this is a dungeon for level 2 players, it's just going to be a cantrip. Just going to be a cantrip. Filter the spells there. Let's see, it looks like you guys are working, are workshopping the face stuff. Awesome. Awesome. I love that you guys are chatting about it. Let's see here. So balanced and understandable. Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's awesome when players kind of come up with their own, when people in general can come up with their own subclasses and classes and stuff like that. That's never been something that my brain has really been able to wrap itself around. Like I've never been particularly excellent at creating classes and stuff. It's a struggle for me to keep them balanced. But I have a lot of players. I have players who will come in with ideas and stuff, and like when they, the fact that they can kind of think of all these things and keep it balanced is always impressive to me. So I think that's awesome. Hey, Chocolate Muffin Queen, how's it going? All right, let's see here. So we need to choose a cantrip, and I like to keep it thematic. So we're kind of going with like earthen stone type of stuff, or alternatively we can do like air type elemental stuff. Let's see here. We had already kind of what did we choose last time? We already had one enchantment token they could possibly find. Which one did we go with? We did magic stone. That's right. We did magic stone previously, so we gotta find not magic stone. Let's hear. Hey, Prince John, how's it going? Sorry, stream before I started DMing current game. Enchantment token started enchantment would fit perfectly in my current setting. It's such a fun it's such a fun, creative um, system, because what like the thing that I love about it is I just sort of say this token has this spell on it, and then I let players kind of look through the spell and find their own way in which they want to add that spell to their items that they're wanting to imbue it on, and we find a way to just make sure it stays balanced and not overpowered, and add the enchantment, and it makes it really fun, because like they'll trade their tokens based on what one player finds or another player finds, so that way they can just kind of keep building up the specific aesthetic for each character. And the really fun thing about it is by the time you get to the end of the campaign, they have these like really specialized and personalized items that it's fun to think about, like as being legacy items that would end up in like a museum somewhere, right? And those are the legendary items that hundreds of years from now people would then want to find elsewhere in the world if they like, decided to sword in the stone their weapon and like put it on a mountaintop for some adventurer to find. It's like their items can then become the legendary items of future games that I play with them and stuff. And it's really fun. It's a really fun way to do it. I always find. Let's see. Puppy Playdate, that sounds awesome. I love puppy playdates. I don't even have a puppy, and I love puppy playdates. That sounds awesome. So does the enchanted item gain the ability to cast a spell, take some aspect of that spell, and apply it? Bow enchanted with fireball shoots exploding flame arrows. Cast fireball X times a day. The answer is either. Like I say, I like to work with the player and find some way to make it balanced. So a lot of times what it'll do is like it depends on if it's like an attack, like an active or a passive thing. If it's a more active type of spell, it tends to be the item can cast that spell when it's activated. If it's something more passive, then it can sort of be an existing trait of it. So like a lot of times if there's some sort of poison-based spell or whatever, if they want to put it on armor, then depending on like the level of the token, the level of the spell that's imbued on the token or whatever it is, right, I will give them the option of, if they put it on their armor, giving them like a resistance to that type of damage, right? So it's like, if they have a really powerful poison enchantment token, they can imbue it on their breastplate or whatever, and so suddenly they have resistance to poisons and stuff like that, and can get advantage on saves against it and stuff like that. So like, well, I really try to be open-minded and creative about it, and just do my best to make sure that it doesn't become a broken level of difficult, or broken level of powerful, I should say. But yeah, sometimes it'll be like we'll put like if they have like a fire-based attack spell and they have it on their sword, we'll do something like it gets enchanted on a jewel that's encrusted in the hilt of the sword or whatever. And so then if they place their hand on that jewel with that sword, then once per day they can cast the spell as part of their attack to do like fire damage on it or something like that. So you gotta work to find a balance there, but that's part of the fun, right? Is it kind of becomes like a shared creative process with you and your players, which is one of the reasons I really love it too. It gives me the chance to like work with them rather than just decreeing, this is what you have, deal with it. If they try to enchant an already enchanted item, does it overwrite the previous enchantment? I allow stacking, but I don't allow them to just like all happen at once. And what I mean is, like, if they have a bunch of ice-based stuff on a hammer, right? So they've got the hammer of ice attacks or whatever, and then they put fire on it, then what I'll always do is I'll say like, okay, but now we got to think about the fact that the fire damage will be undoing the freezing damage. So like it reduces the freezing effects of the hammer attack or something like that. So I'll always just try to think logically, how would they interact? Kind of like if you're just mixing flavors in a recipe or something like that. It's like, how would they interact? Would they have some sort of like amplifying effect, or because it's like if they have some sort of like lightning and thunder spells added onto it, it's like, okay, well that's just naturally that would be the obvious opportunity to have a compounding effect and make a Thor's hammer, you know, ×2 or something like that. But then if they have, you know, a fire-based and a ground-based thing added onto it, it's like, well, the ground's probably going to nullify the fire to a certain degree. So I try to just sort of logically think about it with stuff like that, and just work to have like a really cool, interesting weapon. And it's like sometimes they end up as a mess, but it's like the other thing about it is we're not, like, for me and my friends, we're not doing this professionally. We're just friends that are fucking around. So it's like if things are a mess and chaotic, who cares? If they end up with a weapon that's a little overpowered, who cares? I'll just throw a couple extra kobolds at them and then it'll balance everything out. It's great. It's perfectly fine. But I do, so the best way to balance it, though, I will say, the best way to balance things and make sure they don't get too overpowered is to make it so that it's like a certain number per day, like a certain number of uses per day, with your whatever the spell is there, right? And then like the weapon has to recharge and then can only be used as a standard weapon for the rest of the day and stuff like that. And that usually does a pretty good job of keeping things balanced and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, it's really what it comes down to is it's just it's a creativity exercise, and it's like kind of a fun group project for the team to do when they're like, okay, I want to use this enchantment token. Then we can spend like 20 minutes around the table kind of discussing, okay, what would make sense, what seems too powerful, what seems not as or what seems too powerful, what seems too underpowered, and find a good balance that like everyone at the table can be excited about. Me as the DM to see if I can find, excuse me, see if I can find enemies, you know, find ways to overcome whatever strength they gain with the enemies. Fun for the players to watch their teammate kick ass, and fun for the player that has it to kick ass. So, oh, absolutely, you can take the system and adopt it for your own stuff. I own 0 copyrights. If I wanted this to be, if I wanted it to be my own thing forever, I would have never said a single doggone thing. No, you take this. You take it and run with it. I'm flattered that you want to. I think it's a great tool, and I think it can be a really fun thing for the right group. And so I want as many groups as want it to use it. I just think it's really fun. It's really fun. Let's see here. Okay, so we need let's see here. We need to find a good spell for this one. So we could go with, they're getting high up, so we could almost go with some sort of like air or wind-based thing. So we could do like Gust here. Seize the air and compel it to create one of the following effects. So we could do that. That's not a terrible idea. That's an option. Let's see here. Yeah, that's one thing you're gonna run. That's one of the troubles you're gonna run into there, Chaos. Is Fae is a very magical thing, and so if you're trying to just come up with non-magical stuff, it really is just going to be appearance flavor text, in a lot of ways. That's definitely true. That's definitely true. Let's see, Magic Stone we already did. Mending Message, Mold Earth. We already did a Mold Earth one in this campaign. I like to do as few duplicates of the enchantment tokens, so that way each one seems particularly special, right? Because if there's like 50, you know, Mold Earth tokens lying around, then it's like, you know, they're not worth anything. But if you can find that rare one, like that rare rookie card in the bubblegum card packet or whatever, like they did back in, what was it, like the 70s, that was really big. You know, if you can find that one thing, then boy oh boy. Boy oh boy. Let's see here. Yeah, no, I don't know, Chaos. I don't know. I think it sounds like you've got something specific in mind, and I don't know how helpful I'm going to be perfectly honest. It sounds like you got something specific in mind, and I'm not coming up with anything. I wish I could be more helpful to you. But like I say, sometimes the brain has its own limits for each of us, and boy we've butted up against a brick wall for mine. But I do wish you luck, and I'd like to hear whatever you come up with whenever you figure it out. Let's see, Shillelagh, Shapewater, Snapping Sting. That just sounds cool. Snapping Sting. I don't have that one accessible on here. Let's see here. I think I kind of want to just go with the Gust. I kind of think that would be a cool one. I kind of think that would be a pretty cool one. Mold Earth, Magic Stone. We already did both of those ones. I like that. Let's see here. Let's see here. Where was it? Gust. There we go. There we go. Gust. I think that's the one. I think that's the one. I mean, it sounds like you put a lot of thought into it, Chaos, so you probably have it right, but like with it, since I don't have everything right in front of me, I couldn't tell you necessarily if it's all exactly right. And like I say, trying to it sounds like you got something pretty specific in mind that you're looking for. Let's see here. Seize the air and compel it to create one of the following effects at a point you can see within range. One medium or smaller creature that you choose must succeed in strength or be pushed. Create a small blast capable of moving one object. Okay, yeah, let's do that one. That'd be really cool. That'd be a good one. See, like, it'd be really fun if they were to put, like, if they were to imbue it on a glove or something, so they could just, like, basically have once per day just, like, force push someone. You know, it's like, stuff like that is kind of what I love to see if players come up with that type of stuff and what their own thing would be. So let's see here. Token, let's see here. On one side of token is etched a picture of, we'll say 3 wavy lines representing a gust of wind. Oops, wind. Let's see here. One side of the token is etched a picture of 3 wavy lines. Token is imbued with the gust cantrip. Boom. There we go. All right, and then they got that, and they can find that. Let's see here. Rune Knight elements. Oh yeah, there you go. To enhance themselves for the items. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, now you guys are thinking. See, this is why crowdsourcing and discussing with the group is like one of the best ideas ever when you're hitting a brain block. Because there are a lot of creative people out there. Let's see here. All right, we gotta just sort of what we need to do here. Somehow invoke a sense of like crumbling. Oh wait, hold on. I want this to not be snapped to the grid. Kind of want this to be, I don't know, I'm immediately not a fan of that. Immediately not liking how that one was kind of panning out. Kind of want it to just be a bit more sparse, I think. So if we just like take some of these other ones here. I just kind of want to invoke the feeling that there's like a lot more loose stone around here. That's a little too thick. Alright, here we go. Yeah, we can do that. Let's put this one under, just that way the big boulder seems on top. There we go. Let's see here. Oh yeah, you came to the right place if you're looking for nerds. That's for damn sure. And I take great pride in that. Let's see here. So yeah, if we do that, maybe just kind of add some patches of like stones and stuff around here. There we go. I think that's working. Boom. Always a sucker for enchanting weapon classes. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I'm definitely the same way, and it's like I love the idea of, in general, I love the idea of creating more options for monks, because I think the monks have so much potential to be a lot of very cool things, but it just never really, at least as far as flavor goes, I feel like it never really got the attention that it could have gotten. Like, I mean, you could have any style of bender from Avatar, right, as part of the monks, and they did nothing. They did nothing for that. Like, they just, like, the elemental bender type of stuff for the monks is just non-existent, and it's the most disappointing thing in the world for me. So, like, I love seeing, there's been a lot of, I've seen a lot of different, a lot of creative, like Avatar style, airbender, earthbender, waterbender type of builds that people have come up with, and that type of stuff I love that stuff. All right, let's see here, and then we gotta put just one little coin here. And so the trick I've figured out is you just take this thing right? And you just try and do it there, just like that. So there's one single coin there. One single coin. Let's see here. There we go. Let's see here. Let's see. Is there any cool monastic tradition dedicated to the Fae? I mean, if there isn't, you can make one. I mean, like if you're just talking about trying to come up with a religion that your monk was following, you just make your own. I mean, if you're already home brewing that deep, then you might as well, right? But yeah, you could just like make, you know, it's like you're already making so much. Just kind of if there isn't something that fits the bill, just kind of add the lore. That's what I would say. That's here. Okay, I think that's actually kind of all we need for this one. This room's gonna be kind of a simple one. Yeah. All right, I think that's great. And that's perfect because we've got these little shortcut options here that it's like if players wanted to try and climb, you know, they've got some difficult climbing ahead of them, but they could try and bypass different segments of this map if they wanted to, and I like having those there. I think that's fun. Give them different ways to navigate through this little foothill mountain pass type thing. All right, so that's good. That's room 3. Room 4. Okay, so now this is room 4 is where our big old boss battle is gonna happen here. This is the boss of the entire dungeon here, and it is going to be Mama Griffin, who is going to be pissed off at the players for having been messing with her baby griffins all over this mountain pass. So that's when it all comes to a head right there. Let's see here. As you reach this plateau, you find yourself looking at perhaps the largest nest you've ever seen. Lying in the nest is a full-grown adult griffon, along with a few. Do griffins come from eggs? I'm assuming so if they have a nest. I don't know. I don't actually know a whole lot about griffin lore, to be perfectly honest. I really thought about it. I always assumed eggs. It's kind of weird. It's like which part of the griffin is in charge of the reproductive stuff? Is it like the lion part or the eagle part? I don't know. Whatever. We're gonna go with eggs. I'm with a few eggs. This Mama Griffin is angry at your intrusion and angrier about the grief you've caused her offspring as you've wound your way through this passage. Boom, there we go. Just do that. Just set it up. You're like, yeah, no, she's pissed. She's gonna be mad at you. Let's see here. Along with a few, actually, here's what we're gonna do. Instead of eggs, along with a few younger griffins as well. Boom, there we go. Because we're gonna have to add a couple of them anyway, to make sure we have our proper amount of experience points. Because we need this battle to have 575 experience points worth of bad guys. So let's see if we do. So it starts at 450. If we do, it'll be a bit more than 4. It'll be like 600. But if we do the griffin with 3 of the young griffins there, that'd be perfect. A little more challenge than is necessary, but hey, they'll handle it and they'll get extra experience points for it, so they'll probably be fine. Let's see here. Okay, so let's see here. One, actually, it's copy this so we can make sure we have all of our stuff. 1 Griffon and 3 of the young Griffons. Boom. For illusions and deception, critical to have a monk to be able to use an illusion of multiple bodies, chant their fists to inflict statuses like confuse or dispel. Yeah, if you're going for magic stuff, those are good ideas. Although it sounded like Chaos was looking for non-magical stuff to add. Or maybe I'm misunderstanding the entire conversation, which is 100% possible. Not even is it just possible that I misunderstood everything that's being discussed. It's happened before on plenty of occasions. So, you know, I'm a simple man. and then empty. Let's see here. So, other than the griffin nest, there is little of interest. There's little of interest on this plateau. However, as you approach the opposite side from where you came, you can see a small valley of sorts nestled in these mountainous foothills. Just below you, filling this valley is a small collective of many large huts with many large beings roaming around. It appears that you have found your tribe of giants. Boom! There we go. That's what they're looking for there. Boom! Because that's the final boss. Of course, they have to get through the boss to get to the reward, which the reward is getting where they're going. So here, you've got the illusions of kinda do something similar to this based on the enchantedness of the body. So the physical stuff I'm looking for, find a way to make it seem magical, but just need physical features that will help a monk in a fight. Making someone prone for just a random example. Yeah, I mean, like, it's all like I say, Cass, I think a lot of it's gonna end up being like if you have all of the attacks and stuff, like for a monk, if they can hit someone and knock them prone, then it's just kind of coming up with some sort of flavor text, you know, at that point in time is what it seems like. And it's like you can flavor it to be almost mystical and magical in nature, even if the rules behind it aren't, you know. So you can kind of look at it that way, of just having some sort of like whimsical, magical like flavor twist to it. You know, like we talked about with, like, you know, if you're trying to knock someone prone, you can just have them as Fae, you know, like as a Fae-based monk. They can, you know, do like an earthbender style stomp or punch or something that also brings up some roots from the ground and trips them up, and that's what knocks them prone. Like, you could try and go about it that way. Let's see here. All right. So, okay, oh wait, we gotta decorate our plateau here. Okay, so we gotta put a nest, but god darn it, this thing is gonna be a big giant griffin nest. So, wait, hold on, what's 5 times the size? There it is, right there, ba-boom! Griffin nest. Aha! I love it. I almost want to make it bigger. Hold on. What if we make it 6 times the size? Oh, it's 4 is as big as it'll go. Forlorn. Alright, I guess it'll be this big. Let's see here. Aquarius, 100% stealing my system. I encourage you to. I mean, like, that was kind of the reason why I wanted to start this, like, start doing the streaming of my world building and stuff in general, is because I love the idea of sharing different ideas with different people. Like, there are so many blogs and everything out there with a whole bunch of ideas, but, you know, like, there's there's just so many ideas that people have, and it's so much fun to share those ideas. Like that's what my Discord is all about, really, as far as the D&D stuff goes. It's meant to just be a place that people can share ideas for each other to steal. Because the thing is, here's the thing. This is my ultimate selfish goal behind all of this. My goal is to increase the number of stellar world builders and DMs in the world. So that way, god damn it, I can finally have a chance to be a player again. Because once you've been identified as a good DM, everyone in the world will just want you to DM for them forever and ever. Which, don't get me wrong, I love DMing. It is probably my favorite part to do. But damn it, sometimes I just want to be a simple fighter that goes in with a sword and slashes things to bits. So if we could increase the number of awesome and excited, enthusiastic DMs in the world, then by God, those of us existing DMs, we might have the chance to be a player again. One day. But no, absolutely, to answer your question, 100% take any ideas you hear me say. I am flattered that you find them interesting and would like to use them. So, yeah, by all means. Let's see. Okay. Just put some rocks and stuff around here. Boom, there we go. Just to make kind of an interesting battlefield here. Right, I love putting these little rock outcroppings so that players can, like, try and have, like, cover and stuff like that. Like, I love being able to give my players, like, areas of partial cover and stuff like that so they can try and be more strategic about their environment. Sometimes it's really fun to put in, like, breaking pillars and stuff like that into a map, so that they can have, like, different tools and stuff to try and get creative about their battles and how they handle scenarios and stuff. So I just kind of want to, like, spice up the nest a little bit, put, like, some little bits. Oh, you know what the nest was 100% going to have? Nest is 100% going to have some bones. It's a nest that a griffin, like, makes its home and eats in. Like, yeah, there's 100% going to have bones. We should put just, like, a discarded bone pile kind of over here. Hold on, let's make it under so it's just kind of tucked in against the nest. Boom. There we go. Beautiful. So I kind of just want to put just almost like a little, like, funneled pathway there. So that way they can, like, kind of see that there's, like, a pathway that kind of goes that way or something. Boom. Let's see here. And they just stand there. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, exactly. I always think it's interesting how resistant people are about, like, not wanting to, like how adamant people are about not wanting to invoke that attack of opportunity by leaving. It's like, if you're getting smashed to bits, then, like, yeah, it's better to just take that one extra attack and get out the way and try and hide and build and push some space. You know, I mean, it's like freaking golly. It's maybe I'm more aware of it as someone, because I do train kickboxing, right? And I work very hard at that. And it's like, if you're say in the clinch with someone and they're kneeing your ribs apart, then yes, if you're trying to break free, they might try to catch you with an elbow on the way out. But if you're getting your kidneys and your liver turned to mush while you're in that clinch, then it's worth it to try and break free and do something that you're better at than it is to just sit there and lose the fight. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I agree. I think it's funny that players are as determined to avoid that as they tend to be. But, you know, I suppose I understand the instinct. Like, oh no, they'll attack me. I don't want to do that. So it's true. If you're a monk, you don't have to worry about that. That is very true. Let's see. I just want to put in some more texture and interesting things to these stones. So if you just put these, like, little piles of stones nearby, it'll be perfect. Let's see here. Monks always break plans. That's really what the value of a monk is they just, like, they have their own rules. in a fight. They're like, no, they're like, screw you. I don't want to play by your rules. I want to play by my own. Let's see here. All right, there we go. That looks like a good battleground for like a boss fight. There's like a bunch of ways for them to kind of like try and get flanking positions and stuff like that and get around, but then there's plenty of room still to maneuver. I think that's a good battleground. Not every battleground needs to be super mega complex necessarily. Just add a little bit of flavor and complexity there to make it interesting. I think that's perfect. Or if a player gets really froggy, they can try and get on top of one of these things and do some sort of like jumping superhero smash or whatever. If they wanted to do that. So there we go. All right. Cool. All right, room 5. Which room's 5? Room 5. This room right here. Okay. All right, let's see here. So let's see. Oh, so you've got Vanishing Trick on your monk. Yeah, no, it's probably a good idea to come up with some limitations to it just to make sure it doesn't get a little too OP. But I mean, like I say, I think it's awesome that people are able to like think of those things, because I don't usually when I'm trying to work with like a class and stuff, I don't necessarily always think about that stuff, which is weird because like from a DM standpoint, I'm really good at thinking about that kind of stuff. But when I'm trying to create a player character, I struggle with that. I don't know why. It's probably just because I've spent so much time world building and being a DM that's all my brain can do anymore. I'm a broken man. I'm a one-trick pony. I can only do the same thing over and over again. Alright, anyway. Anywho, self-pity aside, what am I doing with this one? Let's see here. Easy battle. Oh, they need a key for this one. Okay, so they need the keys. So room 8. Rooms 8 and 9 are the ones that have the keys in quotations. Let's see here. 8 and 9. Okay, so I know exactly what we're gonna do with this. So I need my terrain brush here. We're gonna get our gravel terrain. Let's make this smaller. And we're just going to make sure that every route here is challenging to get to. Just kind of carefully paint that in there. There we go. Just do it like that. Perfect. All right. And then what we're going to do is, let's see here. And then we got to do the same with this one here. Just in case they find some other crafty way to get around there. The room's got to be locked. But let's see here. So we got to just... I guess that looks okay. Hold on. I don't like... There we go. Better. No one in the world would have noticed that, but I noticed it, dang it, and I didn't like it. So, okay, so the way I want to describe this room, actually, is I feel like this one's going to actually be a room. I almost want to, like, pull out the cave tool and make that, like, its own cave. I wonder if... Let me... Just... Okay, hold on. Just humor me. Let's... In case I screw it up, let me see. I want to just see. Just want to try something here. And see if this works okay. Just to make this a little cave. Because what I'm thinking is, because the key is a pickaxe, so I kind of want this to be like a small patch of underground in all of this stuff. You know, like they kind of have to carve through the hills and mountains to a certain degree. And so if you do that, then that, like, they have to, like, break through, break through in some way, shape, or form. And the only problem is, so blast open. Boom, there we go. See, check it out. Yeah, there we go. So those are the openings there, and you just describe it as they need the pickaxe to kind of get through the remaining stones. It's a little like convenient, right? To like, let's see. Oh wait, hold on. Okay. I see what I did wrong. Hold up. I'll fix this. Holy shit, you guys are writing a novel here. Let's see here. Hey, oh wow, Pepag. Hi, how's it going? Glad to see you there. Sorry I'm butchering your name. So something you just realized, there's only one enchantment token as reward usually. Players ever gotten into fights over them? They've never gotten into fights, but they have definitely tried to compete over them before. It's never become a full-blown, you know, knockdown, drag-out fight, but I've definitely had them be like, oh, that's so awesome, and they have to, like, do rock, paper, scissors to decide who gets it or something like that. Let's see here. Vanishing tricks, reaction, thing that goes vanish, puff of glitter. Yeah. Opponent makes an attack, we can cast a spell. Yeah, they teleport to an occupied space. It's basically like using one of them smoke bomb escape eggs that ninjas use. Is essentially what it is. Triggering attack to miss either. Yeah. Yep. And then at higher levels, you cast a spell. Use a spell third of the teleport distance. Yeah. Because you get more movement with it. Yeah. That's definitely the thing. You would definitely need to limit that so that way you can't just spam it in a battle and just constantly be, like warping your way around the battlefield too much. That would definitely be OP if there were no limitations to using that. There we go. So there's our blasted open areas there. I like that. I think that works. Boom. So yeah, it's like got a little underground room there. And so it's like as they're kind of, because they're in like the foothills of the mountain, but there'll be like different outcroppings and stuff that they need to kind of get through. And I think that's gonna be great, guys. Okay, I keep almost losing my train of thought. Okay, so like I said it at the beginning. I've got a slow cooker. My dinner tonight, I'm making in a slow cooker. And so it's going right now. And my whole my whole apartment smells amazing. My whole apartment smells like chicken soup right now. And I keep getting whiffs of it. And it smells so good. And it is so hard to maintain focus when I'm sitting here dealing with this. So I just want to acknowledge that. Because I think I don't know why maybe I wanted to brag or something, but I just, like, I'm struggling here, man. Let's see here. So late. Yeah, no, I think you're on the right track, KS. I think limiting it is definitely a good idea. And I mean the thing is too is just like make sure you talk to the entire group and make sure they're on board with it and they feel like it's balanced too. Always do that. When you're doing homebrew, always check with your current group and check with the entire group and make sure everyone feels that it's fair and balanced. I think that's really the most important thing too. So I definitely encourage you to do that. Gonna cook alligator soup for dinner tonight, but all I had was a crock pot. Ha! Talmaru, that is a gold tier pun right there. I appreciate that. I appreciate that more than words can say. I am a big fan of punnery and fatherly humor. That's good stuff. I'm probably gonna steal that at some point in time. Yes, thank you, Aquarius. I'm glad you understand. I'm just sitting here and I get whiffs of it, and I'm like, stay focused. I'm talking about something. I'm saying a sentence, and it's like I'm having a really tough time. Like, here's what the hardest thing is. I just want to go over and, like, there's that impulse that you have when you've got something, even if it's in a slow cooker, and you just gotta leave it and let it cook. There's that impulse. You want to go over there every 20 minutes. And just open the lid and take a good whiff. And it's been so hard. It's been an hour I've been sitting here and I haven't done that. And I want to so badly, but damn it, I'm not gonna do it. And I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna stay focused. I'm doing this for you guys. I'm doing this for you. There's no such thing as an original pun. That's the only way for there to be an original pun is for some sort of new invention that has never existed before. But even then, probably some permutation of said puns has existed. You're absolutely right. Puns, and the point of humor is to spread joy. And one of the best things to do with a joke that spreads joy is to continue to tell it to new people so that it continues to spread joy. That's the point. It's the whole point of it. Let's see here. We're talking to a bunch of people. No more. But then finally speaking of the DM, this character is. Yeah, no. I think you're on the right track, KS. Crowdsourcing it, talking with other people, getting ideas, kind of figuring that out. But yeah, no, it sounds like you got the right idea. The final step is talk with your group about it. That's the final step. But that's like the ultimate way to make sure it's balanced, because the thing is, it's just because we have a whole bunch of really cool, creative people who have great ideas about it, and we're all sitting it here. Who knows what your group is going to think? Different people will have different thoughts on it. So just always, bring it up with your group. All right, let's see. There's one thing that's bothering me here. Okay, I'm gonna try and refocus in. Refocus in. Zero in here. I don't like that this thing. It looked unnatural. Here, and I'm gonna like get the gravel to kind of match the contours here. same thing here. There we go. There we go. That looks better. There we go. I like that better. Yeah, let's see here. Let's see here. Alright. Okay, yeah, that looks... Well, see, like, I almost kind of want... Like, I like the way that one fades now, so I kind of want to just, like, bring that in a little bit more there. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Now that's looking like a smooth transition. Gosh, everyone's going to think I'm a crazy person. Like, wow, why is he spending, like, 10 minutes just trying to get the gravel to look right? What kind of crazy person? No one's ever going to notice it. It's like, I'll notice it. I'll notice it. Alright, there we go. That is 100%. It was 100% the origin story of puns that I choose to believe. Creation of a Greek goddess of humor and poetry. They were too horrible to exist and were locked away, and then Pandora's box was opened, and that's when humanity really started to go downhill. Yeah, like we stopped progressing as a human race, but god damn it, did we have a lot of yucks in there. Most would say it was worth it. Alright. There we go. So I want it to look like that here. And, okay, so let's see here. Underline. Let's see here. Easy battle here. Boop, boop. Alright, so the first thing we have to describe for this. Sorry, there was a cat hair. There was a cat hair on my mic, and I noticed it in my periphery. It bothered me. God, I'm really neurotic today, aren't I? Like, I'm getting really distracted with minuscule things. My apologies. My apologies. Let's see here. Created with something outside of the stuff is limited. A cool thing for a Dragon War fighter who has regeneration thing similar to the Dash one from Doctor Who. I mean, anything Doctor Who is gonna be cool. I mean, more for story than combat. I mean, yeah, like. If you're invoking Doctor Who, that's like a cheat code for cool things. So I think you're onto something there. All right, let's see here. Easy battle. Let's see here. So let's see here. As you continue down the pathway, you find yourself facing a tunnel carved into a higher outcropping of rock. So you start to make your way down the tunnel, but are soon faced with a pile of rocks that appears to have been part of a cave-in at one point. Based on the airflow coming between the stones piled in front of you, you suspect that it wouldn't take much work to clear the stones out and continue on your way. Now, it's kind of imperfect. I might have to workshop that a little bit because talking about a cave-in might cause players to panic about moving the rocks. The other thing about this too is this is meant to have a battle in it. This is meant to have a battle in it, but if it's completely closed off, how would there be, like, if it's a caved-in thing, how would there be griffins in it, right? So, like, you know what we can just do? We can safely assume. Hold on, let me look at the map here. Oh wait, here, what do you got? All right, a D&D scenario where the party gets hired by a god of humor to chase down some running gags. I really want that. Actually, I immediately think that it'd be really funny if you sent them on like a mission that was kind of like a wild goose chase type of situation, and it is the god of humor, and like all it is them, like 100% all it is them just like tricking the players into doing something for him strictly so he can give them the punchline of, sorry, I needed you to catch that running gag for me. And like that's 100% what it was. There's like no experience points to be gained, no items, no money, just the punchline. Just the punchline. Yeah, exactly. Like they have to, well, yeah, like the wild goose chase, like in Hot Fuzz, when they had to chase the wild goose. It was a wild goose chase. It's one of my favorite parts of that whole movie, just because the whole scene is a punchline. So, all right, we'll just leave this one open. We'll leave this one open because we're not really allowing even an alternative path for players to get up from there to there. So that can be open, and that'll explain how we have griffins and stuff in there. There's like a bunch of them that are sleeping or whatever. I don't know. Fuck, I don't know. I'm making it up as I go. All right, which is like so just consistently true for me as I'm designing things. I 100% make everything up as I go. The strong smell that leads the party down the wrong path. You mean a red herring? Of course. Of course. See, my thought is it's a little circlet of red hair. Get it? Because it's a red hair ring. You see that? It was like a pun in a pun. There's layers to that pun. It's like punception over here. It's so fucking stupid. It's probably the stupidest thing I've come up with. Jesus. All right. Wow. Okay. Let's dial it back here. Fucking Carrot Top is gonna come recruiting any day now. I swear. All right. Let's see. We need this to be an easy battle. We need 145 experience worth of enemies here. I think we can just do 3 young griffins. Have we done that yet? Oh, we already did that one. To a popular restaurant and order a MacGuffin. Someone told them they needed it. Yeah, there you go. That's a good one. That's a good one. You're absolutely pun-believable over there. So punny. All right. Let's just do a bunch of griffins that are they're all napping. It'll make it even extra evil for the players to kill them all. So we'll do 2 of our young griffins here, of our small young griffins. Boom, boom. I recognize that, like, if we're gonna assume that Boss Griffin is the mom to all of these griffins, that, like, holy shit, talk about massive clutches of griffin eggs all at once. I recognize that, but since we're just trying to make a game, and it's kind of recognized that we're in, like, a game situation, we're just gonna go ahead and hand wave it and just be like, yeah, it's there for the mechanics of it. It's a lot. I don't know, whatever. Just accept it. Just deal with it. So if we do that, and then we'll do 5 of the tiny ones. I'll just copy it. Whatever. Ultimate laziness. Boom, boom. There we go. Taken care of. Beautiful. All right. Continue on your way. Let's see here. Inside this small cavern, you see on the far side an open tunnel. You see on the far side an open tunnel that will take you further along the path. However, between you and your goal lie many sleeping griffins. And yeah, and we'll just describe that as sleeping. So that way if players want to try and just like sneak and tiptoe their way across, they can do that, and then it'll be really funny when they fuck it up and get attacked. Ah, boy. It's funny to watch my players struggle and fail. Oh, and we gotta put the map in here. Alright, golly, how am I gonna put a map for this? Hey, you know what? Let's just put a literal map. Let's put a literal map. We haven't used that yet. Because this pathway was originally a pathway used by the giants that they're trying to reach, right? Like, that's the idea. That's how they know those giants are there, because the giants, they're following a pathway that was made by the giants themselves. So, like, fuck it, we'll just put, like, a really simplistic hand-doodled map that, like, is really rudimentary, but it seems to, you know, be somewhat accurate to where they're traveling right now, and so they can just, like, have that to navigate this part of the dungeon. So, on the ground, on the ground, laying on the ground, in a corner of the cavern is a crumpled piece of paper. When you smooth it out and look at it, you can see a crudely you can see, hold on, what appears to be, you always add the what appears to be, just so that way it's like you're not explicitly giving them the answer. And it's really fun because my players have learned that when I'm using language like that, there's the possibility that there's more to it. And my favorite part is to get them to think that there's more to it when there isn't, and then just watch them struggle to figure out something that there isn't, that there's nothing to figure out. I'm really in a mood today where I'm just like, I'm having fun thinking of ways to screw with my players. I'm in a mood. But one of these days, I'm gonna run this campaign for people, and they're gonna come up to it and be like, "Man, he's going out of his way to create all kinds of situations that'll screw us over." Which, like, granted, that's my job. I'm the DM, but it's like the thing that I feel like the reason I get away with, like, my subtle disdain for my players' characters is the fact that when I fuck with them, it's not in the haha one-shot KO, you're all dead. It's more so in the haha, you thought you thought you could walk to your destination, but actually there's like a bunch of things getting in your way. You know, it's like, or haha, you thought you had the answer, but it turns out it was just a pun all along. It's like crap like that. That's like pretty innocuous and just kind of makes the players groan. So it's like, at least I got that going for me. Primary motivation for most DMs is screwing with players. For me, it's a yin and yang. Like, truthfully, if we're gonna be legitimate about it, it's a yin and yang, right? Like, I have two motivations. One of them is 100% to screw with my players and make their eyes roll, make them sweat, make them feel all kinds of negative emotions in the middle of a game, so that way it's like there's actually challenge and stuff there. But the other thing, you know, the yin to that yang is that I really want to create a game that makes players feel like heroes, and there's two aspects of it. There's the aspect of making sure there's plenty of challenge, but also making sure there's plenty of opportunity to overcome said challenge, especially in creative ways. So it's like, it's twofold. Like, I want to create situations for them to succeed, but I also need to have my own fun, and my own fun is definitely screwing with players, so, you know. Stuff like that. Gave your party a potion of water breathing, but later in the Underdark, it's a large lake in a cave. Bright glowing source of light coming from a gem at the bottom of the lake. So a storm of kippers and like, yes, exactly. Stuff like that. Like, dangle the bait in front of them, right? You dangle it, and then every time they reach for it, you just like, you just pull it just a little bit further, whether it's with some sort of barricade, some sort of blockage or something like that, or with like the treasure, you know, moving further down the line, right? Like 100%. That's the type of stuff. But like I say, then there's like the art of adding in verbal clues that make them think that you're doing that, but you're actually not. I'm trying to remember. There was a situation where I had done that to players. Like, I had gotten them, they were in a dungeon, and I had put so many like door traps and everything. Like, oh no, you know what it was? This is one of my favorite things to do. Is like when players, and this is actually kind of like a DMing philosophy thing that can be kind of interesting to talk about. When my players make a skill check, and they fail it, I don't tell them the opposite of what's true. I tell them that their character believes something 100% with certainty, right, is what it is. And I let their meta knowledge of that sort of take over. So, and an example of this is, I had a dungeon one time. Every single door was trapped. Tripwires, fake locks, the whole kaput. Everyone's hands were just like masses of cuts and bruises from being damaged by these fake doors. By these real fake doors. No, by these trap doors. And then there was a door that wasn't trapped. And they did a check, and they had such mediocre rolls. It was like a 12. Something that could be like, well, on an easy to identify thing, that could be a success, but on a difficult to identify thing, that could be a failure. And the door was not trapped in any way, shape, or form. And the 12 was, the 12 was like, it was middling, but I didn't even care, because as soon as they got that, like, the guy who was checking it, I was like, you're utterly convinced that there are no traps on this door. And because everything else had been there, they spent like 20 minutes trying to mess with this door, trying to do all kinds of different things to this door other than just opening it. And when they finally were like, okay, you know what? One of us just needs to open this door. We just need to open this door. They opened it and everything was fine. And they were so mad at me. And I was like, I told you. You guys had a good roll and you were utterly convinced. You were utterly convinced that that door had no traps. It doesn't matter whether you had accurate reasons for it or not. You were convinced of it, and it turned out to be true. So, yeah, 100%. Phase spiders are awesome. I love using phase spiders. I'm with you entirely on that one. Let's see. Oh, okay, you use Foundry. Oh, yeah, me too. I use Foundry as well. Foundry is my favorite virtual tabletop. I love it. I absolutely love it. That's why I use Dungeon Draft for making my maps, because it plays nice with Foundry. So, let's see here. What do you don't want the rest of the result? Players, I tell them to roll blind to the GM. Yes, I do that all the time, too. And actually, my players requested that, too. Because my current group that I'm playing with, my buddies, they're friends that I made when I moved to town, right? And I've known them for a couple years now. But at the time, I didn't really know them all that well. It was a friend of a friend situation. And so they like, I was being kind of generous, and I was like, yeah, we'll just keep every roll open so that way everything can be a learning experience. And then I got to a point where they're like, can we start doing secret rolls so that, like, even if one player knows whether something was a success or a fail, we can have, like, you can do that kind of stuff and everyone else doesn't know and it makes them panic. And I was like, if you guys want to give me more tools to screw with your heads, yes, we can do that. We can 100% do that. We can 100% do that. So no, I hear you entirely. It does help build tension. We've seen the levels and better roof mod from. I've heard of it, but I haven't actually tried using it. I really should. There's not really a reason for me not to. But I really should do that. It's a really cool idea. It's a really cool idea. 'Cause like yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard it can be a lot of work, but when it's there, it's really awesome. 'Cause that's the one where it's like, you can program it so that you move to a staircase and it'll automatically teleport you to, like, the next level of that dungeon, right? That's the one I'm thinking of, right? 'Cause if it is, that's the one. Yeah, and you can cut holes in floors. Yes. I've been a player in a game that used that. And it was really cool. And I've thought about trying to implement it, and I should, and it would be fun. But it's kind of like you say, it's labor intensive, and I'm really busy. I'm like the perfect combination of busy and lazy with what free time I do have. That I haven't. I haven't taken the time to invest in that. To get used to the workflow. Fair enough. I feel like that's true with a lot of things in, like, Dungeon Draft and in Foundry. It's like, once you get used to it, it flows very smoothly. There's kind of a steep initial learning curve, but then after a while you kind of start to catch on, because things are pretty intuitive within their own logic, within Foundry is what I found. It's like, if you haven't used Foundry before, it takes some time to figure it out, but once you understand how Foundry is set up and how it works, then it's like, yeah, no, okay, I can figure this out. So yeah, I should look into that. I should definitely look into that. started using the Hey Wait mod. I don't know if I know what that one is. You'll have to tell me what that one is. Let's see. Oh, I still gotta describe the map. What appears to be a hand-drawn, crudely drawn map. It takes some puzzling, but soon enough you realize that you are looking at a map of this foothill. Let's see, of this foothill pass, that was likely drawn by one of the giants you are seeking. There we go. Yeah, and so it gives them a map. Let's see. Okay, you can tiles that act like event triggers to fire off macros and or pause the game. Oh, shit. I need that one. I need that one 100% because I have players that love to just... And it's not because they're trying to get away with anything. They just get really excited to explore maps and stuff. So they like immediately like will move their character to like the complete opposite side of a map or something like that. And it's like, wait, hold on. You know, that or like they'll automatically be like, oh, I want to open that door. And they'll go like click on the door macro. It's like, no, god damn it. That is something that I need. I need to look into that one. I thank you for bringing that one to my attention because that is, that would be helpful. That would be very helpful. That sounds awesome. Games you enforce initiative on all maps. Or, yeah, okay, yeah. That's fair. I from a DM standpoint, I always want to do that. The reason I end up like, and I'll still kind of loosely use that, but the reason that I always end up straying from it is a lot of times my players will find it frustrating when like they'll get frustrated because it'll be like so and so's turn. And so we'll just kind of have to sit there and be all like, no, I don't do anything. No, I don't do anything. No, I don't do anything. And then we get to the guy who's the lockpick to get to it, which to me, it never seems like a big deal to just say like, okay, who's going around and no one does it. But players, I've always found like my particular group of players, they find that to be frustrating. So I don't enforce that, but I actually always kind of want to. Exactly for those types of reasons. But you know, life is made of compromises. Just use the marching order. That's kind of what I end up doing. There's that, and like honestly, in Foundry, I find it to be not too difficult to just like, I'll just like slap the space bar and get a pause going there. If they're like, oh yeah, we want to go check this out, I'll be like, pause, and then like say, okay, we gotta let me describe for you what you guys see. And they've actually gotten pretty good at slowing down and giving me the opportunity to do that. They've learned the rhythm well enough. But I do like the idea of putting in a specific trap there. So it's like if they have their guy walk on a space, then it's like, oh, you've activated my trap card, right? That's great stuff. Move them as a group, and it's only independent action that needs to be announced. That's a good idea too, actually. I like that one. Like, you know, they move together as a group, all of them. It's like, because you can even just like, you know, do the dragon group thing, so you like are moving them all as a group. That's a good idea. Maybe I should try doing that one with them. That might be a good idea, just to keep those goofy goobers all wrangled appropriately. All right. Let's see. We gotta just add some decorations in here. Let's just put. Let's just put like some stones and stuff. Like we can put some stones like that there. And I feel like this room is gonna have like some bigger rocks in it and stuff like that. These are almost more like stalagmites and stalactites and all that stuff. Pop quiz. Which ones are the ones that hang down and which ones are the ones that grow up? Between stalagmites and stalactites. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pride points if you get it right. I don't have any actual prizes, but if you get it right, then you have you get to be snobbish about having gotten it right. I don't know. I'm trying to make things more interactive for you. I'm doing this for you guys. Let's see. I want that over. That's what I want. Boom. Do that. There we go. Lights are on the floor. Hold the ceiling up because they are strong. Tights hang from the ceiling, nice and tight. Bada bing, bada boom. You got it. You got it. And that's like pretty much exactly how I remember it too. So there we go. There you go. See, you guys are so smart. So I have a brilliant audience. And I know I'm saying that facetiously now because I'm just like fucking around, but like genuinely, you guys are all really creative people, and I love the ideas and the discussions you guys all bring to the table. Super fun. Super fun stuff. Okay, so we got that, and now we gotta like have a little piece of paper. Hold on. Search for paper. They don't have like a crumpled piece of paper. I was hoping to have like a crumpled piece of paper. Okay, that's okay. We'll just kind of like, I want to make it like somewhat hidden, so it's like because they have to like search for it. So boom, we'll just put it there, kind of hidden there. I love putting things in like that are findable items and having them be just barely visible. Like, you know, like with the enchantment token right here, there is that little token, right? And there's another piece of paper there. So that way it's like they can meta, like try and Where's Waldo it while their players or while their characters are rolling to find it. Fun fact, facetiously has every vowel in order, including Y. That is a fun fact. I feel like that's the kind of thing that like I was aware of at some point in my life, but I haven't really thought of it. So it feels like a new fact to me. That is a fun fact. I like playing with words. Words are fun and entertaining to be goofy with. All right, so that's pretty good for that room, I think. I don't think we really need anything else. Got the straw and stuff there. Oh, there's griffins here. We need to put some more bones. Just put like a pile of bones, like just in a corner. I have to imagine the griffins are kind of tidy and stuff, and that they kind of keep their bones. You know, their messes in a corner. You know, like a hamster. You know, like how hamsters will have the one corner of the cage. That's the one where they always like poop and pee in. I don't know why that's like one of the most. It's like one of the clearest memories I have from back in my hamster having days is the fact that they always like poop and pee in a specific corner. Alrighty. So there we go. So that's good. So let's go to room 6. Room 6. So we have an easy battle, and we have health. Okay, this will be pretty straightforward here. Hi, kitty. Cattail right there. I know. Hi, little girl. Oh, are you gonna come snuggle? Aw. She wants to snuggle. I know, kitty. I know. The world is colder than it was last week, and so now we need to steal body heat from each other, don't we? I know. Hello, Velixian. Velixian? Velixian, yes. I think. I don't know. I apologize if I mispronounced it, but hello. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. I know, kitty. Hold on. Say hi to the little one-eyed cretin, everybody. That's my cat. She's a sweetheart. There she is. You can see she's only got the one eye. I know. It's her 15 minutes of fame. Level are we planning for? This dungeon is for level 2 players. There we go. That's pretty good. Yeah, this is meant to be a level 2 player dungeon. That we're working on here. It's meant to be a dungeon that players can be at the very beginning of level 2 and then be at level 3 by the end of it. So it's got enough stuff going on it that if they go through and are thorough and take care of everything there is to take care of in the dungeon, they can be up at level 3 by the end of it. That's what we're working on here. So let's see here. So easy battle. There goes half your ideas. I mean, you can still share your ideas. There's a time and place for a TPK. I don't know. Just make it. We can make it. This is the dungeon that carries them into the afterlife, which is where the rest of the campaign takes place. No, that's not what we're doing with the campaign. It'd be kind of interesting though. Like intentionally kill off all the players, and then it's like a twist that's not the end of the campaign. You guys are all stuck in like purgatory or whatever. Becomes becomes a basically becomes Lost, the tabletop RPG. Uh-oh, was that too much of a spoiler? I hope that wasn't too much of a spoiler. I feel like that show's been out long enough. I always just remember the story. I had a professor, and he would always laugh because he had this thing that he would always do with his wife where when he and his wife started watching a new show, he would always be like, all right, I'm predicting the ending. Everyone dies at the end, is what he'd say. And then they watched Lost, and he was so proud of himself. So, I don't know. Sorry, spoiler alert. Put a spoiler alert in the VOD. Anyway. Level 3. Level 3, come back once we start the next dungeon. The next dungeon will be a level 3 dungeon. It'll probably be a while because we got to finish this dungeon. But, actually, you know, we're kind of getting close to being done with this dungeon. Truthfully, I don't think we're going to finish it today, but we'll finish it definitely by the end of next week. We'll definitely be done with it by the end of next week. Guys, if you guys weren't so fun to chit-chat with, then maybe I'd get done with it faster. Gah! I'm kidding. Don't stop. Don't stop bringing me all of your cool ideas. You guys all have cool ideas. I love hearing them. All right, let's hear easy battle. Let me look at the layout of this room here. What's up here? Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. I'm running out of like different creative ways to describe all of these like platforms and plateaus in these hilly mountainous areas here. Anti-paladins selling food due to poison disease immunity. They consider medium rare chicken with wild mushrooms and a nightshade berry sauce a good meal. God, that just sounds like it'd be a really fun encounter in the city, right? If you have like a city that has a bustling market, like you have just like a traveling food salesman, and like you could almost have a mini quest about it where they have to do like a detective thing and figure out what the source of like a rash of food poisonings in the city comes from. And there's just this one UNT that's now sitting there all like I don't know, it's delicious, my people love it. That would be really funny actually. I might have to put that one in my back pocket and use that one of these days. That'd be really funny. All right, let's see here. Easy battle. This like fucking man. I almost want to just write down this plateau looks like the rest of them. Let's see here. You actually know what we'll do for an easy battle. 145. We just have a bunch of hawks. Let's hear. You hear a cacophony. Did I spell that right? Cacophony. No, that's not right. Cacophony. That's the closest I can. I'm sure that autocorrect will get it for me. Oh, because I had the A instead of the O. Yeah, phony. It's like fake. Thank you. There it is. Okay. Let's see. A thief stole an item from a wizard, but does not know what it does, and accidentally activates it while trying to pickpocket the party. Then it will swap the minds between the bodies of two people, but will not swap the same pair twice. Okay, so we're going Freaky Friday on this shit. I like that. Them healer hawks. Healer hawks. I can't say I know what a healer hawk is. All right. I'll humor you. What is a healer hawk? Let's figure this one out. Let's see here. Life length. The wounded see the glow of its vials long before they see its wings diving out of the clouds. Is this the one? I don't know. Other wizards, why not? Let's just see what this is. What do we got? Flying life length. Oh, all right. It just like kind of gives them healing. I'm not gonna do that because this is meant to be a battle, but I like the idea. Alright, let's see here. Let's see. You hear a cacophony of squawking. Wow. Squawking. Why am I choosing all the words I don't know how to spell? I am squawking? No, I don't know. Whatever. Is it obvious that I'm not actually a writer? Is it clear yet that I don't know what the hell I'm doing? I'm just making it up as I go. Has that been made obvious? Is it obvious to everyone that I am just a complete joke? It's obvious to me, anyway. That's it. You hear a cacophony of squawking as you approach the next plateau. Not to be confused with squaking. Squaking, squicking, squicking. Let's see here. As you approach the next plateau, as you crest the hill and see the source of the noise. You see a large gathering of bloodhawks. Let's see here. Oops, it's 2 words for the bloodhawk. Boom, bloodhawks. Let's see here. Let's see here. You're not entirely sure the meaning of this congregation, but you are immediately sure that you are intruding on something important and not welcome here, as the hawks all turn to you and glare. Just do that and let them figure out what they want to do about that. Underground vat containing vats of slimes that are revealed to be prototype clones scrapped in favor of using slime's regenerative ability to make potions. All right, those are all really good. Like, yeah, like you're spitting out some really awesome like city side quest type things. You know, just like encounters that players can have when they're roaming the city. I dig it. Let's see. Okay, we need 145, so 150 experience basically. So that's gonna be 6 of the Bloodhawks. That works. Yeah, that works. 6 Bloodhawks. Put that in there. Boom. All right. And then there is gonna be some health items for them here. Here we go. Health. As you clear the hawks away, it becomes more clear what the hullabaloo. I'm not gonna do hullabaloo. Oh my God! I am aware that my friends are doing things. Steam, calm down over there. Calm down. So it becomes more clear what the fracas, what the excitement, there it is, was all about. It appears. Wow. There it is. My goodness. I'm reaching the end of my mental capacity to have a writing stream here. It's a good thing we're nearing the end of the stream, because clearly my ability to handle it is rapidly dwindling. It appears one of the hawks made off with some poor giant's pack. There is a leather pouch on the ground with its contents strewn about. Much of it is just scraps of food that weren't yet eaten when you arrived. However, a small collection of vials can be found in the pack as well. Boom. So we'll just give them some vials of like health potions. So I always like to do 3 health potions. It's only level 2, so there's gonna be standard 1. And then I always like to add a couple interesting potions, like a couple potions that are like unique ones. And I kind of want to do potions of climbing because we're in the mountains and stuff like that. So actually, you know what I'm going to do? We're going to do 4 health potions and 1 potion of climbing. We'll do it that way because that makes more sense if it were just one person's pack, right? Like that's what they would have. Let's see here. And then 1 potion of climbing. Boom. There we go. There we go. Alright. Alright. I like it. Let's go ahead and decorate this. Make this one look alright here. We're gonna put some nests here. I'm gonna put like just a couple bloodhawk nests, like this was just their place, and that's kind of why they were all congregating there as well, right? Because we can put a couple nests there, and what we'll do, set these as like under, so we'll have the nests among different like rocks and stones and stuff is what we'll do. Let's see here. There we go. We can just do stuff like that just to kind of, you know, spruce it up a little bit around here. Do that one. And then, I don't know, let's do, there's a couple. There we go. We'll like do it like there's 3 of them there. So the bird set up its nest right there. I'll do that. And then we just need to grab our little sack here. We're gonna make this smaller as per usual. It's such a big sack. It's meant to be like a large flour sack or something like that. But I want it to be a money sack or a person's like fanny pack or whatever. So there we go. Decent. That's all it really takes. It doesn't need to be super duper fancy. So that's good. I don't know. I feel like I still want to add a little bit more here. Actually, I like that these are smaller now too. The scale's a little bit down, but let's just put in a few more stones and stuff. I guess actually I do want to bring our scale back up to 1. Let's do that as over. Do that there. It's better to put props in using Foundry tiles instead of Dungeon Draft. Party could potentially interact with. Yeah, you know, I think about that a lot, like with the stones and stuff. You're not wrong. For these types of things, I kind of just do that and let the imagination of the mind take over. And that's mostly out of convenience than anything else. Just that way I don't have, that's like one less thing that I have to have open. And so that way when my players are bouncing around to a lot of different places, it's easier to just quickly upload a map if I need to. Beds and sacks and such. Yeah, I mean, you know, I usually don't worry about it too much, because like if it's something that I don't want, the hard part is like trying to find the balance for things that would mess with line of sight. Like if it my basic thing is if it wouldn't mess with line of sight, I just let it be in, you know, I let it be just like part of the background map, just to free up like line of sight and stuff like that, so that a bed doesn't mess around with that type of stuff too much, because I'm always worried that I'll screw it up and make that a difficult thing. But I do definitely always put in like the enemies and stuff within Foundry. But I like the maps to be easy and quick to upload, just so that way it's like good to go. Because I use, maybe this will explain it too, because I use a server for it. I've tried hosting on my own PC as a server, but the problem is my VPN and firewall don't play nice with it. Oh, so you do use Forge? Okay, yeah. So that's for me. Like I use Forge, and it just I don't know. It's just easier to just quickly upload a map if I need to, because I've got limited amount of time in my life. I'm really busy. And so it's just easier for me to make the map and then just like upload it as is and call it good. And we just use honor system and being like, oh yeah, no, you can't walk through there. Like the walls and stuff, you know, I've got all those things as interactable on here, and stuff like that. But that's just, I think it's just a matter of preference. Because in a lot of ways, you're right. It's nice to be able to put those things and have them be directly interactable and stuff like that. But I don't know. It just ain't how I do it. Let's see here. I kind of want to put that there. I like these rocks as well. I really like, and maybe that's part of it too. Is I just really like the aesthetic of the stuff that Dungeon Draft has. I really like the way things look. I like the look of the maps that get created when I use it. I think it comes out nicely. There we go. See, look at that. Look at that. We're making some good progress on this map. Not too much left to do. So, neato. All right, I'm looking at the time. It's about 5 minutes to the end of the writing stream. I am going to still be streaming for a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of a break, but we're going to switch over and I'm going to do my video gaming stream. I'm going to pull out Mass Effect. We're working through a playthrough of Mass Effect 3. So, yeah, I'm going to take like a 15-20 minute break and do that. So if you want to hang out and just chit-chat and watch me play video games, feel free to, like I said, come back in like 15-20 minutes. I'll be on doing that. Otherwise, if you're just looking for D&D stuff, then I will not be offended, I promise. I do also, if you want to, be part of conversations beyond just my streams, and if you haven't already, I do have a Discord, so you can feel free to sign up for that. We'll get you verified so you can, be part of the ongoing discussions and conversations that we have there. Let's see here, and then I do have a YouTube channel that have that has a lot of my VODs, so you can feel free to check that out. It's very disorganized and it's all just really long form VODs, but hey, it's there if you are of a mind. Sorry, Chaos, sorry about that sorry that you're just now coming back. And running the stream. If you're already on the Discord, then I've probably already verified you. If you can post places, then you're verified. I just do that to make sure that bots can't come in and muck things up. So if you're already on there, you're probably already verified. But yeah, so that's all I got. Like I say, we'll be back in like 15 minutes to do some Mass Effect. If you are of a mind, you are all more than welcome. Yeah. Other than that, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate each and every one of you. Definitely have a lot of fun with these streams. It's you guys are all very creative people. I love the stuff that you guys bring in. So fun to discuss all that kind of stuff. So thank you so much for joining me. And yeah. I will also say next week, as of right now, I should be able to stream my usual Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday next week. I usually don't end up streaming on weekends. Sometimes I'll just throw on a video game stream or something if I'm of a mind to and I've got time. But I don't have any plans to do that. But I will be back next Monday, same time, doing the same thing. So if you want more stuff, you can come check it out. So, yeah, have a good weekend. Maybe I'll see you in like 15 minutes, or maybe I'll see you next week. Either way, you guys are cool. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I am looking forward to seeing you again soon. All right, there's the end stream button. There it goes. Okay, all right, see you later.